Welcome to Delete Lawz. What's going on out there in the land of YouTube? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Put in the comment section, OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. You guys remember I had a guy on here a while ago who went by the name Waltco Act. That was the name of his channel. And Waltco had kind of broke open this the story of these guys in Mississippi who the Rankin County Sheriff's Department who were running roughshod over the community, and it's racism, horrible racism. They're attacking black dudes. Shot one black man through both sides of his cheeks. The bullet went through his mouth. Killed another guy. Absolutely horrifically bad. And so the other day, what happened is those sheriffs pled guilty to felonies. And so let's recap who Walt is, because I'm going to bring him on the show in just 1 second. And this is the announcement that he made the other day.
The moment we've been waiting for. I couldn't wait to get this news to you. I have breaking news. Woo-hoo! Hunter Elward and the rest of the death squad appeared in court today, shackled up. They're in jail. They pled guilty to at least 14 federal charges. This news is developing and breaking, but right now they're breaking in jail. Everything's going to be turned upside down in Rankin County, Mississippi. If you want justice, you got to go out and look for it. You got to go get it. Justice for Michael Corey Jenkins. Justice for Eddie Parker. Justice for Damian Cameron. We will be back with obviously lots of big news coming. And I can't dance, but I feel the booze now. Yes, yes, they're in jail. Fools try to blast me. I saw the police and they rolled right past me.
All right, so now I'm going to bring on my buddy Walt.
Oh, that's silly.
Waltco. So give us an update. Tell us what's going on. Give us the full 1-1.
Hey there, OTVO.
OTVO, buddy.
Man, that was a good beginning of your show there. I want a cool green screen like that says police lie. And boy, that reporter, though, they were so friendly. That's why I thought he could get away with saying incompetent and unethical.
Oh,
but
dude, it was unbelievable.
What a joke. Yeah, I've got to say with that video you just showed, I want people to know that I don't celebrate anyone going to jail or prison. It's something that I'm fighting every day of my life to abolish and get rid of. You know, you talked about how unsafe it is out there. That's why I want to abolish the police and our prison system, is so we can be safer.
Yep, it's not working. It's not working.
It's awful. But it's a moral dilemma with these guys. You know, I guess the way I'm selling out and I could get that giddy and dance and giggle and yell and put my fist in the air is because those guys are the enforcers. They're the ones killing us. And there's evident racism in this recent case that they're going down for. But I will say that every single one of those cops are involved with a white man's death as well. 2 white men, as far as the whole group of them, you know, Corey Jackson, who his sister has reached out to me. He died in the Rankin County jail. He was taken in for a mental health crisis after the family called for help. They didn't send the ambulance. They sent the Rankin County killers there. Really? And they had him strapped in a chair and a bad scene, and he died of a mental health crisis. But there's evident racism that goes, and that just makes a flawed system and the corrupt people even more dangerous. But yeah, they're killing everybody down there in Mississippi.
So it sounds like it. I mean, I just pulled up this article real fast here so we could take a look at it. And this says that this is about Corey Jenkins. A Mississippi man died in a restraint chair after deputies arrested him.
Corey Jackson. Yeah.
Corey Jackins. I'm sorry. So Corey Jackson here died in solitary confinement May 2021 while he experiencing hallucinations. Police arrested Jackson for disorderly conduct. And that's the whole thing. Should you be taken to a dungeon for disorderly conduct? Should you be arrested? That's the whole question. Put a 1 in the chat if you should not be arrested for disorderly conduct. The idea the cops can just grab us and strip us off the streets. Corey Jackson died in Rankin County Jail. His sister and mother desperately tried to drive him to the hospital. He was hallucinating and screaming that he saw snakes and stabbing at the floorboard. He jumped out of the car.
Exactly.
I jumped out and started screaming, please don't hurt him. He's hallucinating. He needs medication. Instead, Rankin County Sheriff Deputy Jackson charged him with resisting and disorderly conduct and brandishing a deadly weapon in a threatening manner. Hours later, he died in a restraint chair. He died hours. So he didn't die in the restraint chair. Let me ask you something, Walt. Have you heard of restraint? How many restraint chairs have you heard of killing people? How many people get put into a restraint chair and then the restraint chair kills them? How many is it? 0. So that means he was strapped into a chair and they beat him to death, or they electrocuted him to death, or they choked him to death, or the combination of all 3 things.
And I'm talking with his sister more, and I'm gonna learn more, but it was because he was not acting right for their standards. No, we're taking him down here, and then of course their worst fears happened there, and it's no way to go. In that case, that was 2 months before Damian Cameron. That was one of 5 men that died due to the police. 3 of them died in police custody, 2 jailhouse. 1 was Damian Cameron. And they said if you can't send that to the grand jury, the attorney general said, no, we don't do that. That's up to the Rankin County district attorney. Well, the Rankin County district attorney says it's against our policy to invest jailhouse deaths. So it's just
law. To investigate jailhouse deaths?
Right. There's no investigation in Rankin County, Mississippi.
So they said the Rankin County district attorney had to deal with that. Doesn't the Rankin County district attorney work hand in hand every day with police? Aren't they connected at the hip? Isn't the way that
they're way connected?
The DA gets jobs by the police giving him case numbers. Isn't that right? So his employment and his bonuses and his paycheck and his accolades and his achievements are all based on the cops that he works with to bring people into him so that he can charge them in court, right?
Yeah, that prison industrial complex you were talking about, it's a monster that feeds itself, and they get cash cows and they just keep feeding it.
Right. And who was the other one? There was Corey Jackson. Who's the other guy that died? The other white guy.
Trevor McKinley, I believe. And he went to high school with Damian Cameron. They were good buddies.
Oh, yeah. I see his name here. Trevor McKinley. How did Trevor McKinley die?
I believe he was, you might want to check me, but I believe he was shot.
A family still waiting for answers 7 months after Mississippi burst into their home and shot 28-year-old man dead.
Yeah.
Trevor McKinley, 28, died in a shootout with Rankin County Sheriff. Oh, so was it a shootout?
Yeah,
was Trevor shooting back?
Woods was a shootout. All these ones were a shootout. Although the witnesses all say that they weren't shooting. You know, like in the Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Parker situation, after he pulled the trigger, put the gun in his mouth and pulled it, Michael Corey Jenkins is laying there bleeding to death, basically. And the cops huddled up. And the head of narcotics investigations, I got the meth, we'll plant the meth on him and say it was a drug raid. And then they're like, well, what about the guy over there that's dying? They're like, he pointed a gun at us, pulls out a gun, unregistered. He's like, I'm prepared. So they're doing this shit. Excuse me. You said you were good. They're doing this stuff all the time. They were ready, but they were real stupid about it. How do you shoot somebody or point a gun at somebody with your arms behind your back?
Yeah. So they kicked down this guy's door and they say the word they had a shootout, but it sounds like an execution. And then insider tried to get more information on McKinley's death, but has met resistance from local officials. So
yeah, Brian Bailey, the sheriff there, has really talked a lot of smack into all these cases that I've looked at. His camera quotes are just gross. It makes you want to throw up. And now he's just like, my deputies lied to me. And
what?
Yeah, police lie. He said he just heard of the goon squad, what I call the death squad, for the first time last week.
Really?
It's such a joke.
This says Charlene Quarles was getting ready to spend a hot day at the lake with her family on August 21st when two sheriffs showed up and barged in uninvited. 6 months later, Quarles is still waiting for answers. Who shot her grandson and why? The shooting death of 28-year-old Trevor McKinley is complicated. He had a warrant for his arrest, and his grandfather, Sonny Quarles, admits complaining about his angry behavior on a 911 call before deputies arrived.
They had it right there.
But Trevor's family are largely in agreement that he was not a danger, and the deputies should have tried to de-escalate the situation to prevent it from turning. And there he is right there. And he's dead now.
Yeah.
He had a life, and now he's gone. I'm not saying that my son's an angel by any means, but it could have been avoided. You don't kill people. Trevor's one of the 4 people who died after confrontations with Rankin County, Mississippi sheriffs last year. The death of Damian Cameron, a black man, Corey Jackson, and Robert Rushton. Who's Robert Rushton?
I'm not real, and I apologize to the Rushton family. I'm not real familiar with that case. I believe he was perhaps shot. Let's see, we got 5. 3 were in custody. Corey Jackson, Trevor McKinley, and Damian Cameron will be the 3 that died in custody. So I'm guessing he got shot. Why don't you look at that up? That's me doing a little bit of math, which is scary.
So do you guys see what I'm looking at? It says Mississippi Bureau of Investigations. So Mississippi Bureau of Investigations is as good as BCI or TBI or any of the other super cop investigators because, Walt, it seems to me like you've been on top of this, that you could just point out which guys these coppers killed, and these are the super cops. You think maybe they're colluding together? You think maybe they're trying to cover things up?
Oh, big time. And it was Hunter Leonard Elward, the guy who put that right there. If they would have told the truth, and they knew the truth because there's a cover up, they didn't let things out of the autopsy that he did die of asphyxiation, strangulation. And, the picture of that bloody picture of Damian Cameron, he's a good looking man with a beautiful smile. That picture is not pretty though. His eyes were coming out. The NBI knew what happened, and they put collapsed on their final investigation and then said there wasn't enough evidence. Well, the evidence has been covered up. If they would have listened to Monica Cameron on what she said happened on him kneeling on his neck for 20 minutes, and that he was beaten half to death, and he was tased like Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Parker numerous times, about 20, and they would have gotten him off the street, this might not have happened to Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Parker. The torture, there was repeated behavior. I think you brought it up, Chille. You brought up pattern of behavior. This is what they've been doing all along, and they've been planting evidence. And these families are like, what? What shootout?
Shootout, right?
Yeah,
right. The only way. So if you ever hear that I'm in a shootout, that's because I had to grab my gun right here because someone came in shooting at me. I'm not in shootouts. I don't have shootouts with people. I don't pull a gun out and point it at people. That's not how I roll. So if you ever hear in the newspaper that Chille had a shootout, no. Someone came to kill me, and I pulled my gun out to defend myself. But I don't think any of the people wanted to have a shootout with county sheriffs. Do you? It doesn't make any sense.
The sad thing is that, people don't shoot out with the cops, but they claim it every day because they're killing 3 of us a day, just that we know of. Those numbers are incorrect, but I understand what you're saying. Well, give me the numbers, please.
It's 7.
I don't want to repeat them.
It's 7 people a day, and Latinos by far are the most people being killed. Then blacks, then you have whites. But the Latinos are killed the most because as a Latino, we don't we don't report and we don't go against the cops because half Latinos that are killed by the cops are illegals, and so are in America illegally. So then their family doesn't want to fight against the cops because they don't want to get deported.
Well, whenever I said that, I said that's what we know about. You did it, which is where I would guess it right there is a lot more than that, and that makes sense with Latinos up here in Northwest Arkansas. We had a case that I still cannot get any record of. I've tried to get an explanation. They were on the news and everything. It was a man they said was vandalizing at a car dealership. No damage to be found or anything like that, but they did say he had a weapon, but they said he was throwing rocks at cars and got into an altercation with two cops where both of the cops fired at him. And we'll have more to the story after the investigation. Never mentioned it again. I'd heard through various people talking that it was an undocumented human, that they wanted to use ICE's ability to torture and things too. And you're exactly right. The family, I'm sure, was terrified.
Yeah, yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
And they just had to be quiet about it.
And
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Let's take a look a little bit. Let's read a little bit about this case here where it said Mississippi Bureau of Investigations are handling an investigation after a man died Tuesday involving Rankin County Sheriff's deputies. Deputies responded to a call about a drug overdose at 3:30 p.m. According to Rankin County news officials, when deputies arrived, they found Robert Rushton of Brandon inside of his vehicle, which was stuck in the mud. As he exited, deputies saw Rushton had a knife in each hand and told him to drop the knives. Oh my God!
Oh man!
Got to kill someone because it's constant. Rushton said he said that they had continued to approach the deputies with the knives, and they shot him, and that Rushton died at the scene. Was there? Do you know if there was any video footage of this, or is that the only thing that we get on this whole thing here?
And that was one of the things I noticed about Brian Bailey said, that he gave them permission to turn off their body cams for undercover missions only, and that the deputies used his policy against them in this last case. And I was thinking to myself, he was sheriff for every single one of these cases, and every single one of them, no body cam. They have body cams, but they turn them off.
So on all of these guys who were died, on all these guys who just had shootouts or had a knife, there's no video footage of any of this.
I can't say absolutely, but I'm pretty sure.
But you've been on this. You're there.
Yeah,
you're in
I know there's none. I know there's none for Damian Cameron. Evidently, the dash cam was on, but they told Monica and the representation that it got lost somehow. And I think I think there might have been some footage of Corey Jackson in the jail, but with me talking to his sister sometime this weekend, I should probably hold off before I speculate there. But the other ones, there's nothing.
So you're going to meet with Corey Jackson's sister and talk to her in the next few days?
I'm going to talk to her on the phone. Yeah, she lives down there in Mississippi.
And she's still trying
to try
to get justice for Corey?
Absolutely. I mean, something about that picture of him. He just looks like a brother that I would hang out with. And, that's one of the things that the police and the prisons are taking from us is mental health and mental illness treatment. And he deserved to get some help, not die of a mental health crisis and be tortured to death, which is what it seems those deputies do down there.
Well, I mean, so he had a couple of kids, huh?
That's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Those are his children right there. Corey Jackson, Rankin County Sheriff's Department, May 15th, 2021. And the worst
part, just get to forget about it if it's a jailhouse death. Like, nobody, those families are just left with. And that's where they were trying to get Damian, but he didn't make it there.
Oh, they were trying to take Damien to the jail?
Yeah, without a legal reason to arrest him. You know, they went into the home and everything for
Wow.
questioning on a reported vandalism.
Really?
Yeah. Which follow up on that was nothing to it. Which, you know, we really shouldn't care about things like that, but the propaganda and the games that the police and the media play for all the backstories, I like to go ahead and clear up a lot of that. And that's why when you showed that picture of Hunter Elward, I had a alleged meth user there. You know, the things they say about everybody. I was looking at Facebook. I did a search of somebody's Christian Dedman, one of the death squad deputies. I've been trying to get some mugshots of them. There are only 2 of them released. And I saw so many posts when he was top cop, and he had a post about good guys 2, criminal 0, and he talked about taking them in and getting them. You know, all that's bull crap.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So this is the latest report I have here. After 5 former Rankin County Sheriff deputies pled guilty to federal charges connected to the brutal assault of 2 black men, Sheriff Brian Bailey apologized. I'm sick to my stomach. I have 120 other deputies. I've tried to build a reputation for Rankin County Sheriff's Department, and they've robbed me of all of this by the actions of a few. This is an example of why people don't trust the police, and I never would thought that it would happen in this department. I promise I'll do my best to fix it. You believe him?
Nope. He also said he apologized to the victims. He hadn't apologized to Monica Cameron.
Former deputies Brett Morris, McAlpin. I'm sorry about that. My computer just did a little jump freeze on me there for some reason.
Yeah, he's the oldest. Jeffrey
Middleton, Christian Dedmond, Hunter Elward, and Daniel Opedike, along with Richland ex-officer Joshua Hartfeld, entered guilty pleas Thursday in the torture and beating of Eddie Parker and Michael Jenkins. Jenkins was also shot in the mouth during the January attack that went on for nearly 2 hours at a home in Braxton. They appeared to be 6 of the dumbest cops in the history of Mississippi, said civil rights activist John Barnett. This was a criminally planned, orchestrated, and the bottom fell out of it. These guys couldn't put a criminal act together if they tried, and it's probably based on their education. According to the court documents, the former cops, who called themselves the Goon Squad, used stun guns on 2 men, waterboarded them, and threatened to rape them and beat them with pieces of wood. After Jenkins was shot in the mouth, they left him on the floor bleeding with no medical treatment. They left him with no, while they devised a cover story. Their sentencing is to follow. So they pled guilty. They pled guilty to 6 felonies, and now
then they got state charges later on that day too. The Mississippi Attorney General finally filed charges against the cops and said she was working hand in hand with the DOJ. I tagged her in about 20 posts a day the last month. It's so incredible. Those guys wouldn't have even been fired if we wouldn't have just kept going. You know, right. We don't stop, as the people like to say. I want to bring up when that happened. I just remember being creeped out. They didn't have the charges together. They were still getting their stories together. They had not charged Michael Corey Jenkins with anything when he was in the hospital, and those cops were in there by his bedside, and they wouldn't let his family in there. And they were in there to make sure he didn't live. But a great activist named Markel Bridges made sure that they couldn't do that.
Markel Bridges?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He's amazing. He does it all. He's a man for the people. You know, he's down there. He's down there fighting.
He went down to the hospital and
yeah, went down there and he started yelling. You know, Jackson State was across the street, a historically black university, and he starts yelling, "They're trying to kill a black man here at the hospital. The police are in his room. We need boots on the ground." And people came and
really
won't let this mom in there to see her son.
And they got the cops in there by his bed, and he's in critical
Yeah,
condition.
he's waking up to people who tried to put stuff up his backside and who tried to off him so they could get away with their story. And then they planted drugs and stuff on him. I keep wondering what the censors are going to get me on this story. So,
there's another entire story. It's a freaking joke.
Oh,
we
man.
can't say the truth. That you got to be careful.
I can't believe I'm saying the word unalive these days.
Well, they killed him. They're dead. I'll say what's the truth. The cops tried to rape them and shove wood up their back butt.
Yeah,
what they did. And I'm not going to
detail it. And what kept them from continuing was because I don't want to get too disgusting, but let's just say one of the men went to the bathroom, and that's whenever that idea left. And then Christian Debin started firing his gun to scare the men. Fired in the yard. This is all going down in the neighborhood, and they just let it go down. There was one call from a neighbor that said that a white lady owned the house, and the men were evidently going out with her. That's the only way they could be in the neighborhood, and that's
6 white former law enforcement.
Get everybody together.
Let's take a look at Brian. Let's listen to Brian. Do his fake, and I got to go to the Communist News Network. I'm sorry, but this is what I just pulled up with him.
Is related to the torture of 2 black men. CNN's Ryan Young reports on the unthinkable violence that unfolded just this year in Mississippi. And a warning: this story contains graphic content.
They became the criminals they swore to protect us from.
They allegedly call themselves the Goon Squad, a group of 6 white former Mississippi law enforcement officers giving themselves that moniker because of their alleged willingness to use excessive force and not to report. Now they pleaded guilty to federal charges related to an assault that, according to a charging document, included nearly 2 hours of torture, physical, racist, and sexual abuse on 2 black men after a white neighbor complained. Several black males had been staying at the property, and the neighbor had observed suspicious behavior. The officer who received the complaint directed an investigator to take care of it. On January 24th, 6 law enforcement officers entered victims Eddie Parker and Michael Jiggles' home without a warrant.
Handcuffing the victims behind their backs and using racial slurs and derogatory language when yelling at the victims, discharging a firearm in order to scare and intimidate the victims, holding them down and pouring cooking oil, milk, alcohol, and chocolate syrup on their faces and into their mouths, forcing them to painfully and involuntarily ingest those liquids, striking one of the victims with objects including a metal sword, a piece of wood, and a wooden kitchen implement, kicking one of the victims in the ribs, tasing the victims dozens of times with department-issued tasers, and stealing personal belongings from the house.
It ended with Jenkins getting shot in the mouth, the bullet lacerating his tongue, breaking his jaw, and exiting out of his neck. For months, there was a lot of doubt about the official account of what took place. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety releasing a statement the day after the incident saying only the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is investigating an officer-involved shooting, but that didn't encapsulate what took place. The Mississippi Department of Public.
There's Brian Bailey's email address right there. That's Brian. That's Bailey. That's Bailey Martin. That's bmartin@dps.ms.gov.
Oh, that's DPS.
Okay, that's not.
Safety releasing a statement the day after the incident saying only the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is investigating an officer-involved shooting, but that didn't encapsulate the horror. In July, I spoke to Parker, Jenkins, and Jenkins' mother and toured the home where the crimes occurred.
I crawled here to this spot, and they started beating me here and tasing me. As you can see, blood spots and all. And my blood spots there.
Jenkins' injuries make it difficult for him to speak.
I'm embarrassed.
Has anyone from the department ever reached out to you and apologized? Have they ever asked for anything at all?
Rankin County Sheriff Ryan Bailey spoke at a press conference about the incident in late June.
I believe in my heart that this department remains one of the best departments in our state, and I'm committed to doing everything in my power to keep this department on a correct path moving forward.
Yesterday,
dude, that guy's a white supremacist. That guy,
Yep.
he is
The
a
Grand Wizard.
shit. He is a KKK member. He is a piece of shit.
he issued an apology and said he didn't fully understand the gravity of the crimes committed until recently. Federal authorities began their review in February.
Wait a minute, Walt. Can you chime in on this? How many times?
What
How
a
many times
joke.
had Brian been contacted and warned that there was a goon squad that was going around beating, raping, and killing people?
He pretty much bragged about it. I mean,
Really?
I remember the interview in 2019 before I was even, I'm 7 hours away from Rankin County.
Right.
So it's just, but I remembered that police department in the Pierre Woods shootout. I'm all, what do you mean he was shot 30 to 40 times? And he came out there and talked to the press and said, my brave officers were in a shootout and they took control, just bragging about it like that, with that accent, like you said. I mean, it's almost like with the text going to the other cops, hey guys, you ready for a mission? The other cop from Richland PD getting involved. I mean, it's sinister. And you have to know that they were at the hospital for 3 days with at least 2 officers every day.
Oh, so they were on top of Michael Jenkins in his hospital bed.
Right? They, along with the state of Mississippi, were able to secure guilty pleas of all accused.
Not only did they brazenly commit these acts, but after inflicting serious bodily injury by firing a shot through one of the victims' mouths, they left him lying in a pool of blood, gathered on the porch of the house to discuss how to cover it up. What indifference, what disregard for life.
A life that will never be the same for either of these 2 men.
It's hard to stand right here, knowing, what happened right here. Justice is what it all boiled down to. I'm just like them, whether they're in uniform or not.
He's just a man. So, Walt, when we had you on last time and I had you on Delete Lawz, none of these guys were still active deputies, remember? They were still working. They were still, and this was just a month ago I had you on.
That was before I went there. We had the press conference on a Thursday. They fired them on that Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Mississippi last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Just ironically, just about when we get, fed up and said, all right, I was surprised this Thursday whenever they happened. I was like, they're really just gonna, just let this boil over.
How has the community embraced you now that you're one of the reasons why this story broke open?
Best humans I've ever met in my life.
Oh, really?
Fam, it's it's a lot of black people that I consider family, and it's nothing to do with the color, and it's I get so much thanks and the kindness is just it's overwhelming. But I'm just kind of doing what you do and what any decent human would do, and it's trying to do the right thing and say, hey, this isn't right. You know what other profession in the world do we have that you could hear the awful things that happen there? That's the head of narcotics investigations for years. That's the head of investigator from another department, and they do that stuff.
And as long as it's one of theirs, my deputies just had a shootout and they were brave and they stood in the fire. But
they took care of him.
They don't ever consider that the deputies are the murderers on the scene, that they are the evil, that they are. What was that activist name who went there and got the black students to come? And when the black students
Marquel Bridges.
What's his name?
Marquel Bridges. He runs a nonprofit called Building Bridges, and he works directly with impacted families, and he's worked with Ronald Greene's family, which is right, an hour and a half away there in Louisiana, which is where I'll be in court on August 22nd. The Ronald Greene family needs support there for those cops that are about to get off of everything there.
Oh, in Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
So Robert Greene's trial.
Ronald Greene's
coming up. I put his. So here's a little.
I was so glad to see you put that body cam up on there. That's such a case. I've been with it since 2019. It's been over 4 years since a gang of white cops beat him to death.
Right.
He said, "I'm your brother. I'm sorry," and those were his last words. And they had one cop said, "I beat the ever living F out of him." He got let go of whenever he became compromised for talking to people. And the day he got let go of, he died in a one-car accident, which, remember, that's what they told Ronald Greene's family had happened to Ronald Greene, until 2 years later, on May 19th, 2021, the AP got a hold of the body cam. And turns out you saw, that's quite a rough watch. I couldn't watch it all.
Right. So you told me that I put the Ronald Greene body cam video up, and Ronald Greene's sister took my video and played it on her Facebook.
She played another video of yours that was about the Supreme Court cases of a stop being a reasonable amount of time of 15 minutes, and your Fourth Amendment consent to search. And then you said you could give them consent to search, but then you could also
revoke
that consent.
That's right.
And then that keeps them from playing the trick. I've had it happen to me many times on the road with my son in the car and everything. They'll we're gonna let the dogs walk around.
Yeah, this is the Ronald Greene body cam footage that Walt was mentioning.
Yeah, she had shared that video and said that learn your rights, and saying this guy knows how to help people learn their rights.
So in this video, you're
about to get it again.
Yeah, one of my videos I encourage people to check out on my channel, a video from April when I was down there with the Ronald Greene family protested. I went down to that site and filmed a video, and I got ran off by a gunshot.
Wow.
In the video, you can see it.
Wow. So they're chasing Ronald
for an unspecified traffic violation. They've got a reputation. People knew that they beat the crap out of them.
Let me see your fucking hands. Let me see your
He's
fucking
saying
hands,
I'm sorry
motherfucker.
already.
Come here, motherfucker.
So they've already tasted twice.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, get him. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. I'm scared.
Hands are up. I'm sorry.
I'm your brother.
Scared.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Oh, Lord. Get out of the fucking car. I'm scared. I'm just scared. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Oh, God, me, Chris. I'm scared. I'm scared. Get out of the car. I'm scared. Officer, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the fucking ground. He's grabbing me. Okay, I'm scared. Put your fucking hands behind your back, motherfucker. Let me see your hands. Put your hands behind your back, bitch. Give me your fucking hand. Put your hands behind your back. Taser.
Oh my God. He's on the ground and they tase him when they're on top of him and he's laying on his side.
I don't know if I can. That's.
Behind your back. Put your fucking hands behind your back, motherfucker.
That's
put your hands
for his life.
behind your fucking back. Look, you're about to get it again if you don't put your fucking hands behind your back.
It.
Put your hands behind your back. Hey, I'm sorry. Put your hands behind your back. We're gonna tase you too many times. We can't tase you no more. Put your hands behind your back. Okay,
He's got it.
Go ahead. What's that? This is what I'm talking.
He's got his hands. He's limp. He's basically, you can hear by his screams, he's dying already. They were well over 10 times they're tasing him. They ran in. He's like this, and they're tasing him immediately.
Right.
Get out of the car, motherfuckers. They're just coming right after him.
Yep.
And they just go at him. It's
And so
awful.
When they create a policy that your hands have to go behind your back, and they teach a bunch of beta male cucks to be afraid of everybody and that their hands have to go behind their back, the only concern of those filthy pigs was to get his hands behind his back. That's all they care about. Get your hands behind your back. It's human nature when you're being attacked to ball up, cover yourself up.
And especially him. He'd been pounded by a flashlight in his head. There's major lacerations already at this point in the video. They were bashing him. Situated. Whenever they said he died in a one-car accident, they told the doctors at the hospital that when he got to the hospital, they're like, "Why are there taser prongs in his body?" Then they're like,
they
"We're not going to be able to buy that."
They lied the whole way, right?
They lied to the hospital.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
The only thing they care about is getting his hands behind his
We
back.
need some more units over here now.
And then they carry him around like trophy game.
There's two men on top of him holding him down, and another guy's slugging him in the kidneys.
Just wailing on him.
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh my God.
Put your fucking hands behind. Put them behind your back. Put them behind your back. Quit. Okay. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
They're choking him. He's choking him right there. He's got his arm around his neck.
Yeah,
He's choking him.
you can hear it.
He's choking him.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your fucking hands behind your back. Let me see your hand.
They're choking him. He's got his arm around his neck and he's choking him. You can see it. There's the top of his neck and there's the guy's armpit. He's choking him. There's a taser in his back. You see that right there? There's the wire right there. You see it? Why is he still choking him? Do you see that? His armpit. Look. So look, that the man on top of him is killing him. See the guy with there's his hip right there on the other guy on Ronald Greene's shoulder. And there he is. He's got his armpit on his neck, on the side of his neck, and he's choking him. He's choking him. He's choking the man.
Let me see
This man is a murderer. This guy right here killed him. Look, the guy, he's choking him.
your fucking hands, motherfucker. Oh, God damn it, get up here. Get that fucking arm.
He can't, he's choking him to death.
Motherfucker, you better not move.
Look at his hand. Look at the amount of blood on his arm. Look at that.
Got it? All right. Fuck. You stupid motherfucker. Got blood all over. I hope this guy ain't got fucking AIDS.
They're complaining about him getting blood all over them.
Yeah, you got blood on your face.
It's amazing to me. So they go to the hospital. They tell the hospital that he was in a single car accident and he slammed into the guardrail.
And their badges are stained with blood too.
Their badges have Ronald Greene's blood on them.
Yes.
And this happens. We see the video. They hide the video for 2 years, from 2019 to 2021, correct?
They were still hiding it when it got picked up by the AP.
But how did it get released? Do you know the actual facts?
The AP released it.
The AP got the video and released? No,
yes.
No, I ripped it, just so you know, from the Mississippi Highway Patrol YouTube page. The day that I ripped this video, they put it out. It got 50,000 views. I saw it that day. I ripped it from YouTube. The next day, they took it down. I got this video from Mississippi Highway Patrol.
I sure hope that his family's not watching right now.
I hope they are. So it doubles them down. Don't stop till you get justice for Ronald. Don't ever stop.
We definitely need justice for Ronald Greene. And those motherfuckers that are doing those awful things right there will be in court August 22nd, a Tuesday, in Union Parish, Louisiana, Farmerville. And it's a home crowd for them. They are celebrating those cops down there.
Why would they celebrate? Which persons would celebrate? I saw the man choking him with his armpit on it back side of his neck, and you could hear him go as the other guys are ripping his arms behind his back. So he's using strength to hold himself together while another guy's pulling the air out of him. So why would you celebrate that? Who's celebrating these pigs?
Right. Some extremely
bootlickers.
Blue Lives Matter, Thin Blue Line, racist, white. It's Stars and Bars, Union Parish. And that's everybody knows about that culture there. You know, that's an hour and a half away from where Damian Cameron happened.
Educate me. What are you talking about? Stars and Bars, Union Parish. What does that mean?
The Confederate flag is out everywhere, and Thin Blue Line flags. And they're proud of their cops that did that to Ronald Greene.
Oh, so that's like KKK Central.
Well, sure.
Right. Stars
and KKK is deep in law enforcement throughout the South.
It's funny that you said that because I was every day I just pull up new stuff. I pull up new articles. I read new things. And so I saw this the other day. I'm not sure if I showed this to you guys or not, but the other day I was looking this up, and this is from 2022, where they hid Ronald Greene's body cam footage all the way up, and it says a Reuters investigation on May 6th indicates significant number of U.S. police instructors have ties to constellations of armed right-wing militias and white supremacist hate groups.
That's fact. Yeah. This is stuff that they can find out easily.
The investigation adds that the mounting academic research, government audits, and news reporting that demonstrates pervasiveness of white supremacists in law enforcement. And stop saying the term law enforcement. It's peace officers. Series of incidents, including documents of extremist groups among cops. More and more evidence suggests that white supremacist infiltration of law enforcement that was warning back in 2006 by the FBI, and points out the desperate need for policies of departmental and legislative to prohibit people who engage in racist conduct or white supremacist conduct. But the thing is that as long as there is no third party, and this is going to come from the Seabury Commission, the Wickersham Commission, the Knapp Commission, and the Mullen Commission, all four commissions that I've read all said the same thing. Without a third party that is autonomous, that has subpoena power and arresting power, without those two factors in a commission, it's pointless. There's no point in having, I mean, how many times were complaints filed with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations about these Rankin County police officers? How many complaints do you think were filed from people in the state?
Lord, I don't know.
Everybody knew.
You don't hear about it. I was on one of those apps that counts the complaints, and I looked at my local police department on excessive force complaints or racial complaints or any of that stuff, and how many were founded. All of them were founded to be justifiable, by the way. But like for Rankin County on that report card, no data to report. So, you know,
no data to report, zero data.
Yeah, they wouldn't participate in that type of stuff. By the way, what jobs do you go to if you're a white supremacist? Are there other jobs that are looking to hire that?
I don't know.
But I don't think I'm cut. I just got his blood all over me.
His blood.
Oh, we got one against.
So the cops are strutting around talking about they got blood on him, but they're not helping the guy who's on his belly in torture.
Yeah, its face is in the mud too. He did not put up a fight. He's just a big guy.
Was. And none of these guys were punished at all. Nothing.
No. In December of last year, they gave them weak charges.
What are their charges?
Malfeasance and
not murder, though.
Was obstruction of justice that got thrown out. And one of the cops who was also involved in other men's beatings to death, I think he might have got the assault. I'm not sure.
Chris, I got plenty of this.
Man, look, I mean, how disgusting is it? Instead of giving the man any care, they're worried about washing off their hands and getting their antibacterial soap.
One of those cops, like, struts out on the football field with the Louisiana Tech football team when they play somebody. I mean, they're celebrated.
The pigs in Louisiana are celebrated?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you would have seen the way he was driving, it was unreal.
But, you know, the DOJ went in to investigate this, and they ended up investigating the whole Louisiana State Police.
I picked him up right in front of the college. He was cruising right there and ran a red light real bad. He started slow rolling right there at 5 point like he's going to stop. Then he just punched us.
How could they just...
There's no third party on the scene for any kind of reasonable, rational, intelligent recourse. This just a bunch of pigs.
And you can hear it in its cries.
Can we get a record for this car?
So this says right here, I'm going to pause this real quick and I'm going to come back to this video. This says right here, this is how the body cam footage. This is from I'm Scared. AP obtains video of deadly arrest of black man. It's just even the wording of the mainstream, the state-run media. Louisiana state troopers were captured on body camera video, stunning, punching, and dragging Ronald Greene and leading them on a high-speed chase. I'm your brother. I'm scared. I'm scared Ronald Greene could be here tearing the cops before he gets killed. The 2019 arrest outside of Monroe, Louisiana is the subject of a federal civil rights investigation. But unlike other in-custody deaths across the nation where body camera video was released almost immediately, that's a lie. That's a lie.
That's terrible that they said that.
But unlike other in-custody deaths across the nation where body camera is almost immediately released, that's a lie. See,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Greene's case has been shrouded in secrecy and accusations of a cover-up. Louisiana officials have rebuffed repeated calls to release the footage and details about what caused I turned 49 this year. Troopers initially told Greene's family he died on impact after crashing into a tree. Later released a one-page statement acknowledging that Greene struggled with troopers and died on his way to the hospital. Only now footage obtained from the AP from one of the troopers' body cam can see for the first time what actually happened. The 46-minute clip shows troopers wrestling with Greene to the ground, putting him in a chokehold and punching him in the face, calling him a stupid mother effer. Greene wails, "I'm sorry," as another trooper delivers a stun shock to his back. "You're going to get it again if you don't put your hands behind your back," dragging him face down after his legs have been shackled and his hands cuffed behind his back. Instead of rendering aid, troopers leave the heavyset man unattended, face down and moaning for more than 9 minutes. after they used sanitizer to wash the blood off their hands and their faces. I hope this guy doesn't have effing AIDS. After several minute stretch in which Greene is not seen on camera, he appears limp, unresponsive, and bleeding from his head and face. He's then loaded onto an ambulance gurney, his arm cuffed to the bed rail. In many parts of the video, Greene is not on screen, and Trooper appears to have cut the microphone about halfway through, making it difficult to piece together what's happening. At least 6 troopers were on the scene of the arrest, but not all had their body cams on. They murdered him. It was set out. It was planned, Greene's mother said. He didn't have a chance. Ronnie didn't have a chance. I want to know more about the body cam footage. That's the whole thing. And this is what I've been trying to get across to the folks here who watch the channel. If we get access to the camera footage, which has to happen in every state in America, apparently state by state, because Tennessee has made it part of their state constitution. And thank you, Star, for sending me a bunch of those emails. I haven't had a chance to read all the information you sent me yet. We have to get access to all government cameras. All government cameras. All of them.
See, in Memphis, in Tennessee, Jarvian Hudspeth, who, Lord, we don't know if he was parked or if he was moving, but he had an encounter with the deputy. And evidently the deputy was dragged so many feet, but somehow shot and killed Jarvian, a college student who goes out on his one day off a week, Saturdays, to get the family donuts, and didn't come back at 8:30 in the morning. And that's what happened. They didn't tell the mom till 2 days later, not telling her what's up. But Sheriff Bonner there is running for mayor of Memphis, and the TBI is investigating, and they won't release the body cam. They
What's
won't
his
release
name?
the body cam after
Jarvis
they set the precedent with Tyree Nichols.
What's the name though? What's the name of the guy who was murdered, the college student?
Jarvian Hudspeth, Hudspeth. Jarvion. Jarveon. It's his civil, like, you know how Tyree Nichols was grabbed and jerked out of the car? It sounds like that's what they were trying to do to Jarvian here, and he started driving away. He was about 100 yards from his house.
And this is in Tennessee.
This is in Memphis. Yeah, that's Shelby County Sheriff Bonner, who needs to release that body cam.
Let's take a look at this video. So
his mother, Charlotte.
So this is what I'm talking about. Jarvian it's Hudspeth, according to the media here, right?
Hudspeth with a P.
Hudspeth. Okay. He gets killed. They have it on body cam, but they won't release the body cam footage.
We don't even know why a sheriff had an encounter or a deputy had an encounter with him. They won't tell us that.
Wow. And so I don't understand. Why do we pay for body cam footage that we don't get to just access immediately? Why are we paying for body cam footage that we don't get? We don't have body cam footage so the cops can keep it.
There's a lot of people trying to get body cams, get rid of them, because it's just more money we're giving them. They won't show it to us. Like that article is lying.
So here's a funeral. Let's check this out.
This after he was 1-year-old North Shelby County man. This after he was shot by a Shelby County Sheriff's deputy. The 21-year-old's family is now coming together to lay him to rest. Jarvian Hudspeth was killed last month. The deputy saying he shot him in fear for his life. Tonight, Hudspeth's family spoke only to Fox 13 investigator DeCastro Turner.
As song permeates the small chapter.
Jarvion, J-A-R-V, his name was Jarvion, and then Hudspeth.
Of the MJ Edwards Funeral Home, among those who are memorializing 21-year-old Jarvian Hudspeth, there are few dry eyes.
I have to cry. Wise beyond his years.
Jarvion's grief-stricken mother, unable to speak, instead leaving it to others to share memories of the way her son lived his life.
He come in, I fussed, he just look at the old smile and they give me a hug.
A memorable life ended last month after a Shelby County Sheriff's deputy says he encountered Hudspeth one morning sitting in his Ford Mustang near Allendale and Rosswood Drives in North Shelby County, not far from the home he shared with his mother. At some point, Jarvion drove away. plane, dragging the deputy before that deputy was forced to shoot. The deputy transported in condition, badly injured and bleeding inside his car. New video obtained by Fox 13 Investigate shows Jarvion's speeding car slam into another just blocks away. The final few moments of Jarvion's life as he lay waiting for paramedics.
I'm hurt. I'm angry at times. Sometimes I don't believe that it's true.
A harsh reality as those who knew him best say goodbye, demanding transparency and answers from the sheriff's office during the investigation.
I know Jarvion. He's been around me since he was a year old. He's never been a trouble child, not even in school.
He got killed by the people that's supposed to protect and serve, but they haven't showed any remorse or can offer any condolences.
The questions adding up ahead of a planned Monday press conference with the family's attorney, renowned civil rights lawyer Ben Crump, as the
any remorse.
I mean, look at that guy. This man is no longer here.
So all the questions, like when the paramedics got there, did they go to help the injured deputy, or did they just let Jarvion, who you heard him, even the press said there, they encountered Jarvion. At some point, Jarvion was driving away, and the police was in his car. Like, we have no reason why he encountered the cops.
This says the family of 21-year-old Jarvion Hedspeth is demanding answers, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations after a deadly involved shooting in Raleigh, June 24th. It's the third Memphis family to hire civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Don't say no more. Just release the video. It's been over 2 weeks since Hedspeth was killed. So
I've got a video that says that.
So, yesterday Star sent me the information about, as a matter of fact, I think I can pull it up. It was, oops, sorry about that, little cramp. It was this is what I want to know. Who wrote who amended the Tennessee state constitution? So this is a question for the internet here. Who amended the state constitution of Tennessee, the actual state constitution, to say that the only people who could get body camera footage are the people who have standing in the case? That takes all civil libertarians. That takes all constitutional law scholars, all lawyers, anybody who's a civil rights advocate, or anybody who can work on your behalf to take a look at the footage. We can't just comb through the cops' body cam footage to see who they're raping, killing, and murdering.
We don't know why the cops were with him.
We don't know. I want to know why in the world the people of Tennessee, the good people of Tennessee, why would you allow a state constitution, an amended state constitution, to say that only the cops and the judges get the body cam footage? Why in the world, people of Tennessee, I'm talking to you. Why would you allow this to happen in your state? Why would you allow the pigs to have the body cam footage and you don't get it? Why is that? You should be going the other way, where we get the body cam footage, where a third-party agency gets it, redacts the faces and names of minors, and it goes out. That's it.
Amen.
Why in the flying hell do we have state constitutions being altered so that we don't get the camera footage? What in the name of God is going on in this country? Who
the
in
cops
Tennessee
keep writing the laws?
That's right. I said it yesterday. The Fraternal Order of Police is funding ex-cops in your town right now to run for office. The Fraternal Order of Police writes the bill or the amended state constitution, gives it to the representative who they funded, they put it into committee, and then Republicans and Democrats rubber stamp it.
Bingo. You nailed it. All over the place. That's the scenario. There's nothing pretend about what you just said. That's it. And that sheriff is now running for mayor of Memphis, Tennessee.
Why would I don't care if you support cops or not. Why would you want just the cops to get the body cam footage? Why would you not want someone like myself to be able to log into Memphis, Tennessee, look up Copper Johnson's body cam footage for the past 3 months and just sit and watch it?
If they're protected and serving us, shouldn't we have citizen oversight? You and me be able to go see, let's see how they're doing that.
Right. You and I could just sit there and watch video after video all day long.
Somehow they don't want us to see those. Even though it's not the camera on them.
It just is so absolutely frustrating. It's just so frustrating that which people in Tennessee which Republicans and Democrats voted, who decided that they would amend the state constitution to make it so only cops could get the body cam footage so that people couldn't get it, that we can't see it. And now we're seeing the result of it is this kid, Devion, how do you say his name?
Jarvian.
Sorry, the names are all Jarvion Hudspeth. Now
nice.
we can't see what happened to him.
And that's fucked up. What's the deal? I mean, that's awful. That's not right. Think about his mother, Miss Charlotte.
I can't understand why in the world that this is happening. I can't understand. Why would people not want for us to see the body cam footage? His family and attorney Crump announced that they want the video of the incident released during a press conference. Some held signs saying, "Where's Bonner?" and 16 days, the amount of time that since Hudspeth has passed, and how many days it took the city of Memphis to release the video of the traffic stop that led to Tyre Nichols' death. Crump, who's representing both families, says both cases share similar similarities. He said neither Hudspeth nor Nichols' mothers were given the whole truth about what happened to their sons. Both of them young black men, both of them so close to home, both of their mothers given a narrative that wasn't the truth, and both of them bearing their hearts and beg for the video to be released. Nichols' mother was told that Tyre was drunk driving and was pulled over. His autopsy found no alcohol in his system, but they found alcohol within the system, but well within the legal limits. And Hudspeth's mother, Charlotte Haggett, said she was originally told by investigators her son had died in a car accident. This is a golden opportunity to build trust with the community by letting us see what happened. See, that's the whole part. By letting us see what happened. That's the part I have a problem with.
Letting us.
We're paying for it. The money for the camera footage comes from us, the taxpayers. Who the flock are the people in Tennessee that signed off on this? I mean, you know what? If anybody here makes a video that explains to everybody how I could do it myself. I have 40 things going on, and I think I have to travel here in the next short time. So I want to know how the Tennessee Constitution got altered, where
my friend Lucy might know.
Altered the
talk to her.
They actually altered the Tennessee Constitution to say that we can't get the body cam footage. What the hell is going on in this country? Really, what in the hell is going on in this country? Haggart buried Jarvian over the weekend. I'm still to this day waiting for my son to come home, said Haggett. I haven't heard anything about what happened to him. I just want to know what happened to him. So they got camera footage of what happened. I just don't know what happened to him that Saturday when he walked out the door 8:30 in the morning and never came home. Here's the lying cops of TBI said the shooting happened at 9 a.m. A deputy approached Hudspeth's car and tried to stop him from leaving. The reason why the deputy approached is still under investigation. TBI says the situation
unbelievable.
And Hudspeth drove off and dragged the deputy 100 yards, leaving him seriously injured. They say at some point the deputy shot Hudspeth and died while he was on his way to the hospital. It's just devastating that our children keep getting killed in these highly questionable circumstances by people who are supposed to protect and serve them, and when they're so close to home. Crump said Hudspeth just died a street away from his house. The identity of the deputy accused of shooting and killing Hudspeth has not been released. That's the other thing that's going on now. Now what they've done in the state of Nevada is when you get body cam footage, the faces of the pigs who murder people are going to be redacted. I don't want secret police in America. I don't want secret police. I want anybody who's a cop to have to be on camera. That's what I want.
That business is just getting worse.
We have to defund them. We have to get rid of cops altogether and get peace officers who protect us. Change the mentality from enforcing laws to rights protecting. We don't even see it. If you're not violating someone's rights, stealing their property, vandalizing, hurting someone else, I don't see it. It doesn't exist. I'm not here to enforce arbitrary laws upon people. I'm here to uphold the rights of others. It's an entire mental shift. we've created the term law enforcement for blacks so that the cops who were created as slave catchers could enforce laws upon black people. That's the reason why we're here. That's the reason we're here. I mean, look, not everything is racist. The police system was created for racism.
But you can't deny the racism in.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, who the fuck are the people in Tennessee that allowed this to happen?
Like that.
Because I'm here in Nevada, and let me tell you something. When I run for governor and I win and I change the state constitution, I'm changing the state constitution that everybody gets access to any government footage, any and all. I don't care if you're at the DMV. I don't care where you are. Someone could tap into that and watch. I'm sick of this.
Boy, if we
sick of
knew
the government controlling our cameras.
All the Blue Lives Matter and the Back the Blue crowd would dwindle in numbers if we could see what they were doing. Oh, if you know as well as I do, they're awful.
If we could pull the body cam footage from all 6 of those pigs that murdered Ronald Greene and watch what they've done for their entire careers, you would see that they raped, murdered, beat, cheated, imprisoned, tortured numerous people.
You're right. You're right.
No matter where. I mean,
I have no doubt in my mind, that you are exactly correct.
It's just, I can't get around my head. Who would allow? We want access to the camera. Put a 1 in the chat if you want access to the camera footage in the state that you live in. If you want access to the camera footage, put a 1 in the chat. 1. If you, I want access to the God blessed body cam footage. I want access to any camera the government has that has put up. I want access to the camera footage. It makes my head want to explode. It just makes my head want to literally, makes me just so angry. It doesn't matter to Miss Charlotte. The pain doesn't change because the trigger who killed her son is white or black. The pain is all the same, said Crump. The lying cops of Tennessee Bureau of Investigations is handling the investigation.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah. Thank God we got just more cops investigating cops. It's come to my attention that specific individuals, including Attorney Ben Crump, have made inciting claims regarding releasing video evidence. Inciting. Because that's the thing is we're not capable of looking at body cam footage. We're not capable. We can't look at the body cam footage and make our own determination. If we saw the body cam footage before their investigation was over, then they would ruin everything. Everything would be ruined. If
we're well over a month now. It might be pushing. It seems like, what was that?
June 24th.
June 24th.
Right. So it's a month and 6 weeks. 6 weeks away.
Yeah.
5-6 weeks. If we saw the body cam footage, how would that ruin their investigation?
There's nothing. It's ridiculous.
If you see any footage of anything, how does it ruin the investigation?
If they had that kid even with a vape cartridge, they would be showing the body cam.
Right.
There's nothing. It's
right.
The cop murdered it.
He murdered him. Yeah. He murdered him.
No doubt about it.
And the thing is they've been doing this to us since the inception of cops. Since they created pigs have been murdering us and getting away with it.
And our political system runs on law and order. Like you said, you get the politicians give to the campaign and the police do, and then they get people elected into those positions.
That's
and the
right.
fraternal order police keeps the money cranking and cranking and cranking.
That's right. That's right. That's why my biggest fear is when I'm running for governor that I don't get assassinated, because the dirty, filthy pigs know that I will change it from the top down and I will alter the state constitution and I will make it so that the people get access to the camera footage from the government. They will create a third-party agency that redacts children's faces because it's for the kids. Everybody's scared of the kids. But I'll make sure that you don't see people's stuff, and we'll create a third-party agency where the people get the camera footage.
And as someone, Chille, that was a campaign manager for 5 campaigns in the last 20 years, and before I swore off of all that stuff, I'll tell you, you're going to win because you're going to motivate people who don't vote to go vote. You're gonna make the math question that's up there of the percentages. It's gonna be different because there's gonna be a whole bunch of new players of people that are doing that to the system right now but that gives them a reason to get out and vote because, yeah, they're going to do everything they can to beat you and to silence you. But you get the people behind you, which I don't see why they wouldn't be. You just keep keeping it real like you are right now. These outlandish questions that you've been asking, my goodness, you just sound unhinged. They're exactly right. They're exactly right.
Why can't the people get access to the footage immediately? Why can't it be the necessary things redacted that are only necessary? And the other thing, the body cams themselves. The cops turn the microphone on and off. They turn the camera on and off. How is that transparent?
Such a joke.
What's the point? What's the point in having it?
Hey, I better heads up you that my phone's about to die. I've got a charger out in the car, but
all right. Well, listen, I'll let you go. If you want to come back, let me know. Let me know if you go charge your phone or whatever. But ring me back again. I got a couple more videos to show everybody.
Hey, I might jump back on. I'm gonna go take care of something with my son. But if you're still on about 5 to 10 after 11, I'll surely jump back on. It's an honor for me.
Oh, I appreciate you coming here, and I'm gonna make sure real quick. I'm gonna drop your link down in the chat again real quick, everybody. This is Waltco Act. So let me grab.
I'm learning how to edit videos, y'all. So be patient with me. I'm not smooth like Delete Lawz, but I'm getting there.
I've been in Hollywood for 20 years, so it really, really helped a lot learning how to do the different things that I do. But thank you, I appreciate it. So let me drop your link down in the chat real quick before you take off. Here is his link right here. Get over here to his page and subscribe. I just put him down in the chat. There you are, Waltco. Charge your phone, deal with your kids, and thanks for coming, buddy.
Hey, OTVO, thanks for having me.
OTVO.
Thank you so much for going and looking at Jarvie and Hudspeth's case. And even though like I've seen a couple texts come through my phone, my good friend Sherry just messaged and said I had to get off during the Ronald Greene tape and everything. You know, she's there fighting, though. She'll be there August 22nd, you know, but thank you for, I hope everyone out there, if you can get to Louisiana to help support the Ronald Greene family and hold these cops accountable, do it, please. Follow my channel and you'll know about all these cases. We're fighting for justice, and they're running this country, they're running the media. If Delete Lawz and I don't fight back and tell the truth, who's going to do it?
That's right. It's state-run media. Make sure from now on you call it state-run media.
State-run media.
Me too.
That's what it is.
It's state-run media.
It is.
It's state-run. So I just dropped his channel link to the channel down there. Walt, thanks for coming. I'll see if you come back. Okay, buddy?
Hey, thanks a lot. We'll see.
Bye, buddy. Okay. Why would people vote for a state constitution, amend the state constitution, people in Tennessee? Why would you trust that the police get the body cam footage? Are you a constitutional law scholar? Can you look at a situation and say that's a First Amendment violation, that's a Second Amendment, that's a Fourth Amendment, that's a Fifth Amendment, that's an Eighth Amendment, that's a 14th Amendment violation? Can you do that in Tennessee? I'm talking just to the people in Tennessee. If you can look at a video and break down where the constitutional violations are happening, then you should get access to that, to all the camera footage, because then you can help people. If you can't do that, if you can't look at a video and say that's a Fourth Amendment violation, then why would you vote that only the cops and judges get access to the body cam footage? Why would the people vote yes to amend the Tennessee state constitution that only cops get the body cam footage? Who voted for that? Who said yes on that? Who were the representatives in Tennessee, Republicans and Democrats, that put their signature on that and said, yes, I vote for that to amend the state constitution that only the cops get the body cam footage? We can't keep on voting for the same old tired ass Republicans and Democrats. We have to change the system. We have to change the system. If we don't change the system, we're absolutely screwed. And I'll tell you what, the people of Tennessee, I'll tell you what, anybody who makes a video explaining to me, or just making a 5-minute video, you have to put your face on video, just lay it out. How did the Tennessee state constitution get changed where only the cops and the judges get the body cam footage? How'd that happen? I'll feature it on my channel and I'll bring you on. It just got me just so pissed off.